we're back. Are you ready to create a great meal? Remember, the kitchen is just like a science lab at school. You get to mix a whole bunch of cool stuff together, and if you do it right and follow the directions, you can make some awesome stuff happen. But just like in the science lab at school, there are some rules. So let's go over the cooking's awesome rules. Ask an adult for help. Wash your hands. Get everything ready. Safety first. Follow the directions. Measure carefully. And clean up your mess. And most importantly, have fun. There are all kinds of pastas. I picked out a few to show you. You have spaghetti. That means length of string. I can kind of see it. You have little shells. I can't pronounce their Italian name. You have linguine. That means little tongue. Does this look like a tongue to you? You have manicotti. That means little muffs. They're kind of like things girls wear in the winter to keep their hands warm. Then you have vermicelli. That means little worms. I can definitely see that. Then you have fettuccine. This is what we're going to be making today. It means little ribbons. So here are the ingredients we'll need for our homemade pasta. We'll need 3 eggs, 2 pinches of salt, and in case you're wondering, 1 pinch is about 1/8 of a teaspoon, and 1 3/4 cup pasta flour. First we have to beat the eggs. You need to make sure you beat them really well. After you do that, add 2 pinches of salt. 1, 2, and then mix that in there really well. After you do all that, we're going to pour this into a large mixing bowl that we're going to mix our pasta in. Here's our flour. Are you ready to get your hands messy? Because this is the fun part. You put 1 hand of flour in here and mix it all together. You know, the first time I did this, I poured all the flour in at once, and it didn't turn out so well. So that shows you, always follow the directions. After you finish mixing this really well, here comes the awesome part. You get to knead it. Basically, kneading it is just getting it all together. And you have to knead it for 5 minutes. There's not a way you can really mess kneading up. You just have to squish it and squash it all together. Since we have to do this for 5 minutes, I thought I'd tell you this joke Vincent told me. What do you get when you stack a whole bunch of pizzas on top of each other? What? The Leaning Tower of Pizza. So maybe that wasn't the best joke. But anyway, I'm going to finish kneading this dough, put it on some wax paper and throw it in the fridge. And when we get back, we're going to get started on our awesome green pesto sauce. Welcome back. Well, our dough's in the fridge and it's time to start our pesto. Here's what you'll need for your pesto. You'll need 2 cups of fresh basil. That's what we got down at the farmer's market. 1/4 cup of pine nuts. You can use walnuts or even sunflower seeds if you want. 2 garlic cloves, crushed. I'm about to teach you how to do that. 1 cup of olive oil, 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese, or how I like to say it, 1/2 cup of parm. So let's get started on our sauce. Here's the basil. Make sure you wash it and pat it dry. Still smells great. Here's our pine nuts, and here's our garlic. Now I'm going to show you how to crush it. You can use the back of your palm like this, or I like to use my mom's handy dandy kitchen hammer and do it like this. Boy, does this stuff smell. Well, and we have our olive oil and our parm. Now we're going to put our basil in the food processor. This is a cool thing that chops it all up. Now we're going to add our pine nuts, just kind of sprinkle them around in there, and our garlic. Maybe add a little bit of olive oil to put a little liquid in there to mix it all together. But don't put all of it in there, then it'll get all gunky. We're going to chop this up until it's a smooth and creamy green. We need to add the rest of our olive oil and all of the parm. And then you're going to mix it all up together, and when you get it nice and creamy green, you have your pesto sauce. Now that our pesto is done, we're going to get started on our fettuccine.